with a review of the Fiskars, I always want to say this wrong, the Fiskars safety saw, which you cannot release with one hand, at least. Maybe if I, no, kind of two hands, it's okay. Whew. So if I was using a chainsaw, I would probably come up from the bottom. I'd either come in from the top, then finish on the bottom, or start on the bottom and then finish on top, because when the wood, comes in, it's gonna pinch. Since this is small, I'm gonna be going really slow, not worried too much. Okay, so let's look at the time. 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 4, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Maybe I should take a pace that's a little more likely to last. If I can sit down on this guy. Make sure we get a good footage here. Just make sure. Yep, good enough. This is a hard freaking piece of wood, man. That's crazy. All right, switch. By the way, when you're doing this, keep your elbow kind of in line. I'm a little crooked right now, but keep your elbow in line. You don't want to be trying to saw like this or like that. Nice and even. And just a little bit of downforce, not a ton. Yeah, well, we are making progress, barely. Might have to switch to the two-handed super mode. Getting there. I may or may not cheat and break this one versus cut all the way through. Technically I broke the other one, so I don't know if that's fair or not. Actually requires a little bit of downforce, which is kind of tiring on the wrist more than the... Maybe if I can get the downforce from my left hand and not tire out my right wrist with that much. And are we? Yeah, I think we're cutting both directions with this. It's push-pull, not just a push, not just a pull. Stop rocking. Try to take maybe just a little bit longer strokes. Oh my lord. What are we at now? Ooh, 5 minutes. I'm definitely not quite halfway through. One thing I will say to increase, pressure is a function of force and surface area. So if you're trying to cut something, this long, that's versus something, let's say half the blade length, you get twice as much force down. So sometimes kind of working your way around gives you a couple short surfaces, because sometimes you cut a more narrow surface more than twice as fast as you cut a wider surface, so you just got to make sure you kind of keep your line straight, otherwise you start cutting spirals, and that's no good. Now this thing's all rock around. Man, we still got a ways to go to connect that. So one thing I recommend, try to connect the lines before you cut too deep. That way you can kind of adjust for that spiraling I was talking about. So I'm just gonna come, actually I just might even score it, just to kind of make sure we're on track here. Another thing that helps, trying to follow, don't always cut, don't start your cut from the new side. continue your cut from the old side, and that'll help you kind of keep things lined up. Oh, we're doing something. Yeah, that's no good. I think I'm actually gonna swap this guy over like that. There we go. Get this nice soft stuff out of the way. Still really thick in the middle, I know. Yeah, he's not even halfway. So this piece is just a little taller than it is this way, so cutting down the narrow path gives me a little advantage on the pressure. Holy Lord. So you want to be a prepper, huh? Well, it's easy to talk the talk. Remind me to buy a property with nice soft trees on it. Ooh, we're binding just a little there. I'm trying to... Oh, in case you're wondering, it is not... Not even close. Well, keep. You know that video where Canadian prepper has that silky boy, that katana or whatever, that super long one? It's starting to look kind of attractive. It's not a great grip, but I just need a break from that other grip. God, I can't have this thing rocking. binding just a little bit. Let's see if I can open that up just a smidge. There we go. Yeah, see, that's too wide. I'm not getting good cutting like that. Try this way. Want to be seeing that sawdust. If you're not seeing the sawdust, you're not doing very well. I think this might be a winner angle. Oh, come on, baby. Not really worried about binding it, so if it starts getting tight, not a big deal. Getting there. Ugh, this thing is well, still got a 1x1 in there or something. If I drop it right there, maybe that'll work better. Come on, you bastard. Ooh, I think I just got a little. Bend this guy out real quick. Better. All right, let's try to break this thing again. I'm getting tired here. There we go. Good Lord. So that's how much was holding this thing together. Right there. And if you look, take my sunglasses off here. As far as a flat cut, oh, let me get the darn, come on, stay. Come on, buddy. So, come on, zoom on the thing. Oh, God, it just will not. There we go. So, let's see what my spiral factor is. Not too bad. It's pretty flat. Well, I have plans for this piece of wood. Yeah. Yeah, these rings here. Yeah, I got plans for this wood. Well, until next time. Good Lord. That was hard. But you know what? I feel a little better about... I definitely wasn't thinking about the AC for the last 30 minutes. I mean, look at this. Just listen to that. No sirens, no cars, no dogs. Just the birds, the wind, and me. Or the birds, the wind, and I. Never did like English. Till next time, YouTube. This is LA Prepper saying don't knock it till you try it. Everything looks easy on TV until you find the hardest piece of wood in the park. Like, comment, subscribe, YouTube, and I'll see you next time.